not there yet. Okay, well, it's not showing live for me as a viewer, and we lost a person. I'm literally looking at it, Sweet Pea. It's just spinning. Okay, I got the black screen now, but I don't see me. Check. Oh, I can hear me. Oh my gosh, I think it's finally working. Hey. There I am. Can you turn the playlist off? Okay, you guys are not going to believe this. We worked so hard to once again not have these technical difficulties. 2 minutes, literally 2 minutes before we were supposed to hit the live button, the camera just went black and stopped recording us. And we don't quite know why that happened, but my hero, my superhero of a husband, somehow managed to get it going again, which I still don't understand all the things that he does. So thank you for joining us. If you tried to join us last week, thank you for that as well. It was heartbreaking, the technical difficulties we had after all the work we put into it to for it to be operational, and then it just died for like the first 10 minutes. We had audio and video issues, and so if you tried, thank you for trying. Thanks for coming in tonight. Thank you for being here. And sorry for the late start, but we are excited to share our hearts with you tonight. So we feel like the theme of tonight is like starting over. A little bit because that's what we're doing. Like we're kind of starting over week 2 on what we wanted to be week 1. But what we want to communicate is that even in the midst of brokenness, discouragement, weariness, hurt, that's where growth comes from. Growth always comes on the heels of a trial. And it's through the difficulties that we grow stronger. And it's not, unfortunately, when we are wrapped up tight and cozy in our comfort zone. I really wish it was. So we wanted to open up tonight with one of our original songs called Last Week. And when I wrote the lyrics to this song, I was reflecting back on a very difficult season of my life when the people that I trusted the most were the people that hurt me the most and caused me the most pain. And there's a beautiful thing that happens when we choose to forgive, when we choose to go a different way and start a new path, when we choose to allow the Lord to take us into a new season. And even when it hurts, and sometimes that is when it hurts the most, if I'm being honest. But that's really where healing comes from. And so it's our prayer that you will be blessed by our music, that you'll be blessed by our hearts and our songs, and that you would even take a moment just to ask the Lord to show you if there's an area of your life that you maybe need to change, to be willing to go into a new season. If there's something that the Lord is telling you to lay down or to let go of so that he can take you to new places, because the laying down and the letting go is hard, but not as hard as staying in a place of stagnancy. Is stagnancy a word?
I guess it is now. I just made up one.
No, I think it's a word.
Stagnation?
Oh yeah, stagnation. That's what I meant. Yeah. So.
Hey, look at these lights, by the way. We got halos on them. I think it's because when I was working with the cell phone, I think I rubbed it. So, what do you guys think of the?
Oh yes.
We're gonna go with it.
Please tell us in the comments how you feel about the fact that you can actually see us. Hopefully, we're in sync today.
Well, I'm just saying, like the little lights have little beams going off like Star Wars here. It's kind of nice. My
Star
lightsaber.
Wars has beams? Oh, they're lightsabers.
Yeah, they're little lightsabers.
No, they're not.
When we
They're
tested, we didn't
crooked.
have those, but it's kind of nice little ambiance. We'll get that fixed too.
He doesn't know what a lightsaber is.
What? I do know what a lightsaber. Okay. Without further ado,
Here's last week.
last week.
Well, almost. With a little bit of a Jew.
Yeah. Whoa.
10 years ago last week, you were the one that I told all my secrets to. Best friend I'd ever had. 10 years ago last week, I looked up to you and I hung on your every word. But those words, they cut like glass. I will be so strong now.
Help me be strong.
I will move on now. You will see. 10 years ago last week, tore apart my world and you didn't see the cracks you made in the dreams of a little girl. 10 years ago last week, sowed seeds of doubt, now I find it hard to let them go. Those voices still reach out. I will be so strong now. I will move on now. See, I will be so strong now. You'll see you're wrong about me. I still remember the day I turned and walked away. The time has quickly passed as I sit here looking backwards, remembering 10 years ago. Last week, oh yeah, last week, oh. Memories, they haunt me still. They don't contain me. Memories, they haunt me still. They won't contain all my will. Healing has come in time as I leave all the doubts behind. 10 years ago last week. That was last week.
Sorry, I'm smiling at the comment. J.J. Abrams would love the lights.
Yes, he would. He does love a good lens flare.
Hey, another rough start. That's all right. We're gonna work out these kinks as we go. They'll get better and better.
You know, our whole ministry is based in recovery, so I guess this is just lessons from the Lord on how to recover.
Mm-hmm.
Too on the nose? Too soon? It feels too soon?
Why do we have to have more lessons, though?
I know.
I'm tired of
I've
the
learned
lessons.
so much already.
Thank you guys for hanging with us. Okay.
Yeah, so we actually have, we're like logged in just so we can make sure it's working and so we can see comments.
Yeah. I love these lights that just popped out of nowhere. They didn't pop out. We had them up. Just the
We had
flare
'em-
they have.
We had them last week. We need flare.
Just more flare. Okay. you'll recognize this one.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, into the light of a dark black night. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, into the light of a dark black night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. He's wanted to do that song for like a long time.
We love the Beatles, and
Yeah, we do. I
just
grew up
reminds
on
me
it.
of my early musical experience with my dad teaching me Beatles songs.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of learned guitar, and I was playing in the house a lot, along with a lot of other classic rock bands that
I refuse
it's
to
not
listen
quite
to.
your taste.
No, I refuse. I like
But
the
you
Beatles.
like the Beatles, so we
I grew
see.
up on the Beatles.
We find the thing we agree on.
Yes, I grew up on the Beatles. I was anti-Beach Boy, and then I married a man who played in a Beach Boy tribute band for over a decade.
I will be doing a gig still next month.
Oh, that's right. He's got one more. He's retired from the band, but he's going to come back for a show. So, moving on. It was on my heart for years to write a book, to write a devotional companion to our album. In fact, that's probably something that's going to go forward into everything that we do, all the music we write. Oh, look, when I do this, the flare goes away. When I talk with my hands. So,
Happening.
no, stop it.
Oh.
So I did. I wrote this book. It's a devotional companion, and each chapter kind of corresponds with one of the songs on the album. And it's really just the cry of our hearts to bring hope and life and healing for people. And the only way we know how to is to point them to Christ.
Sorry, you got cut out.
So this book that I wrote, it's just waiting. It's finished. We're just waiting for the right funding, and then we're going to be publishing that. So stay tuned. But the chapter that goes along with last week, the song we just sang, specifically talks about unforgiveness. And now I've lost it. So I wanted to talk about Paul in Ephesians 4:25 through 32. He writes, "Therefore each of you must put off falsehood and speak truthfully to your neighbor, for we are all members of one body. In your anger, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry, and do not give the devil a foothold. Anyone who has been stealing must steal no longer, but must work, doing something useful with their own hands, that they may have something to share with those in need. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. and do not grieve the Holy Spirit of God, with whom you were sealed for the day of redemption. Get rid of all bitterness, rage, and anger, brawling and slander, along with every form of malice. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ God forgave you. So the chapter that goes along with last week really talks about unforgiveness, because it's kind of a heavy thing. And the reason I bring this up is actually there's two reasons. The first one is that unforgiveness, it hurts you. It doesn't hurt the person who hurt you. And the second reason, basically unforgiveness causes you, maybe not today, but it will cause you to become a bitter and an angry person. And so that's how it hurts you. And there's a phrase that I've heard that's harboring unforgiveness is basically like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. And the second reason I bring this up is because unforgiveness, it will come in between you and your relationships, and more importantly, your relationship with God. And if you think of it as a wedge kind of starts small and then it gets bigger. That's what we use for door stops, right? Because then you can like wedge it under a door. Well, if you think of it as a wedge, when a wedge first goes in between two objects, there's not a lot of room there. It's like this tiny little sliver. But the more you push down on the wedge, the more you allow that to go deeper, the farther apart those two objects get. That's actually the wedge's whole purpose. Well, unforgiveness is a wedge, and its whole purpose is to create division and to cause pain. And so as the wedge between those two objects gets bigger and bigger and bigger, the space grows. And the fact is, it's impossible to heal and to grow into your next season while you're holding on to unforgiveness, because that unforgiveness is going to grow as well. It's going to continue to fester. It's going to continue to grow, just like that wedge creates space. That's what unforgiveness does. So if there's someone that you've struggled to forgive, and we've all been there because we're human beings. We've all been hurt. There's not a person who has escaped being hurt by another human being. There's just not. And if there's someone that you're struggling to forgive, I would ask you to choose to forgive them right now. And if that feels like an impossible task, then, which I've been there too, I get that. If that feels too hard, then I would encourage you to ask the Lord to help you forgive them, because He will. And if even that feels too hard, then the next thing is that you ask the Lord to make you willing to forgive them. Because before you can forgive, you have to be willing. And so until you're willing, you might need the Lord's intervention, and you might need the Lord's help to be able to do that. And if you ask Him, He is faithful, and He will answer that prayer, especially because of what a beautiful sacrifice it is for you to be willing to lay down your hurt and give it to Him, to allow wholeness and healing to come into you. So I like to say that even if they don't apologize, forgive them anyways. Even if they don't admit they're wrong, forgive them anyways. Because that is what is going to bring you healing. So that is a big part of our story tonight, the things we wanted to share with you, talking about last week. It really has a lot to do with forgiveness, and getting rid of unforgiveness removes the barrier between you and the Lord. And that's actually the next song we wanted to share with you. It is a worship song. It's called Nothing Is Holding Me Back, because when you get to that place of freedom, then there is nothing that holds you back between you and the Lord. There's no wedge that comes in between.
Thank you for the cross that you have carried. Thank you for your blood that was shed. Took the weight of sin upon your shoulders. Sacrificed your life so I could live. Thank you for the cross that you have carried. Thank you for your blood that was shed. You took the weight of sin upon your shoulders and sacrificed your life so I could live. Now nothing is holding me back from you, Redeemer of my soul. Now nothing can hold me back from you. You are love, will never let me go. Thank you for your death and resurrection. Thank you for the power of your blood. I am overwhelmed by your affection, the kindness and the greatness of your love, the kindness and the greatness of your love. Now nothing is holding me back from you, Redeemer of my soul. Now nothing can hold me back from you. Your love will never let me go. Jesus, you make all things new. Jesus, you make all things new. Jesus, you make all things new. Lord Jesus, you make all things new. Thank you that we're living in your kingdom. Jesus, you're the king upon the throne. Thank you for the way you've always loved me. Now I get to love you in return. Now I get to love you in return.
Why don't you share a little bit, because I have to tune real quick.
Oh, the tuning song. It's honestly my least favorite song. I don't like it.
Oh, I can't mute myself.
Oh.
Well,
Well,
try.
you guys might get to listen to the tuning song if he can't mute himself.
Okay, I found the mute button. See, we are our own producers,
Yeah.
our own sound mixers,
Yeah.
and everything. So you're seeing some of the rough of it. Thank you so much, guys, for being here.
Yep.
And for those of you who are watching after the fact, you know, you're seeing our process kind of get tighter, hopefully each week as we learn how to do this on our own.
Yeah.
But let me just tune a little bit, and we'll do our next song for you.
Yeah, so we have one more song. It's called Someday. And I was thinking about it because my kind and tender-hearted and sweet husband has a lot of feelings about the way that I sing this song. He's very particular about certain things. And I was trying to figure out why this, more than any other song, causes him to be so specific with how we perform it. And I realized this was all you. I think I might have revisited his lyrics and tweaked them a little bit, but this was James. James wrote this song, and when you create something, it has a special place in your heart. And I think this song just has a really special place in his heart because it was written out of a difficult season and a lot of pain. And so I think that's probably why. Am I wrong or am I right?
You're right.
Cool, look at me, I'm smart.
Yeah, thanks for the kudos. Yeah, we collaborate on a lot of songs.
Yeah, we do.
Well, most of the songs, but there are some that are mostly me.
Some are mostly me.
A lot of the early ones were her poems that I put the music.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the time, and we don't got a lot of time left.
No,
so
let's go.
We're gonna hit this one. We're gonna be a little bit late for the Patreon people.
Yeah, just a
we'll
couple
try to-
minutes. We'll be quick.
Okay, here we go. Oh,
What are you doing?
you know what? I gotta push buttons. Sorry. At least I'm not
There's
pushing
so
your
many
buttons. I'm not pushing your buttons, right? Oh,
I
okay.
plead the fifth.
There's a question there.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
No. Didn't we agree no
What?
tracks?
Well,
I'm
it's
pretty
not-
sure at the practice last night.
It's technically not tracks because it's me on drums, and we got my friend Ian and good friend Andrew, and you love their parts.
I know
it's,
who the
It's like
players
having
are.
them in the studio with us.
I know who the players are. You know how I feel about tracks.
Yes, but I think it would just be an exciting way to just close out the night with everyone, like have a little, like a little contrast instead of just doing acoustic. How do you guys feel in the chat? Little tracks along with this?
Do you
Little
want to hear
excitement?
drums?
I know it's
wanna hear
better if they're
bass?
live with us.
Do you want to hear electric guitar?
Okay, I'm doing it. I think
I think I just got
predicting they're gonna be
vetoed.
good. Here we go.
Oh my goodness.
Kept wishing you would be a part of me. Somehow I knew it wasn't meant to be. How could I fall into this broken dream? I feel betrayed. Oh, someday, after all the colors been filled, and I'll say all the words that pain had a hold on. I pray that I will find the strength to say someday. Gave you the lock and key to hit my heart. I couldn't help but love you from the start. Why did I rush into your open arms? I thought you'd stay. Someday, after all the colors been filled in, say all the words that pain had a hold on. I pray that I will find a way somehow. I've been afraid I'll never mend all of this pain. When will it end? Someday, after all the colors been filled in, I'll say all the words that pain had a hold on. I pray that I will find a way someday and replace the tears with that laughter. We'll say all the dreams we followed after. You'll give us strength to find the words to say someday.
electric guitar parts in that song.
Thank you guys so much for being with us. We're gonna head on over now to our Patreon site. So if you're a Patreon subscriber, we're gonna be there in a few minutes.
Patreon.com/changing names.
And if you would like to be a subscriber, there's information if you want to go to patreon.com/changing names. And we'll be sharing the second half of this live stream every Thursday, including some extra perks we're going to put up there, and including new music we're working on for the album, new releases. Some things coming out that we're
Irons
going
in the fire. I do some sporadic blog posts as well that I won't share anywhere else. Also, this is kind of important. If you enjoyed tonight or you like tracks, please hit the like button. That really helps us out with the YouTube algorithm.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to say that, yeah.
So yeah, if you could please hit the like button. If you don't like us, then just don't hit it. I mean, I guess you could hit the dislike button, but we're not for everybody. I'm an acquired taste. I know this about myself. So you just zip it.
Wonderful.
Zip it. So just hit the like button, please. Feel free to share us. We would love it if you would share our what's
music.
the word? Yeah, thank you, music.
Our live streams.
It's been a long week.
Our music videos we put up, everything.
Yeah. So we're going to go because it's time for us to be over at Patreon. But we just want to say thank you so much for joining us. Meet us here next week, Thursday, 8 p.m. Pacific.